Hello everyone, it's Lauren again, and this video title is called Black and White Thinking. I've had a black and white thinking mindset pretty much most of my life. My black and white mindset thinking caused me a lot of insecurities about myself. I was about mid-elementary school age when it started, and it significantly worsened as I got to be a teenager, and I had it all through my 20s and some of my 30s. What is black and white thinking? I'm going to read the definition from the internet, because according to the internet from AI, black and white thinking, also known as a dichotomous thinking, is a cognitive style where situations are perceived as either all good or all bad, with no middle ground or gray areas. This type of thinking is often observed in individuals with autism spectrum disorder, ASD, and it can affect various aspects of their lives, including social interactions and emotional regulation. My interpretation of the black and white thinking comes from three things. It means not understanding the real idea of a situation and only understanding a little bit of it. Number two, difficulty changing their thoughts and perceptions. Number three, difficulty learning from social experiences that would normally help neurotypicals. How has the black and white thinking affected me? I do have trouble overcoming thoughts and perceptions that I've learned. I can remember an example of what I perceived as a black and white thinking when I was 8 years old, and I was in third grade, and I was peeking through a Sears Christmas catalog in the toy section, and I ran across this Little Tots kitchen set that I thought, I might like it, but I didn't ask for it or anything. And it said the developmental age was from about 2 through 6 years old, and I started having a crying fit because I thought that there was something wrong with me if I wanted to play with that little kitchen when I was past the age of it. And I thought, you're not supposed to do that. That's wrong. In reality, that was black and white thinking. When I got old enough to truly understand that I was different, I got obsessed with trying to be normal, and it deeply affected me. So here's some more of my black and white thinking that I had a lot of problems with. When I said that I was so fixated with trying to be normal, I was so worried about myself that I couldn't relax. And when I did relax, I often felt exhausted. And when I was so fixated on stuff like this, I would get so obsessed with it that it would cause an uncontrollable meltdown. And I had that frequently a lot as a child. I wanted to be the best at everything, and developed an idea when I was a teenager that I would not find success as an adult because I didn't have good grades and I had a mental illness. Number two, another example of how I was stubborn black and white mindset was that I was jealous of my cousin from the time that she was around 10 years old and up. And why? Because she had good grades in school and was in honors classes. And despite all of my struggles with my autism and mental illness, I used to do a lot of research on stuff and read a lot. And in all of that, and in all of our drug assemblies at school that people would come and talk through, I got the idea that people like me were at higher risk for making poor choices as adults than the kids that were athletic, had good grades, or didn't suffer from a mental illness. When my cousin didn't attend college when she graduated, and still she hasn't went to college all these years later, I was downright shocked that she didn't achieve what I perceived that she would. Number three, when I was almost 19, there was this guy that was really smart and he asked me out. And he was way different than I was. He was a very smart person. He had good grades, and I think he was probably the valedictorian of his class, and he was planning at the time to go to school to be a pharmacist. I covered up my doubts with bullying toward this person because I suffered so much insecurity about myself and was bullied so much that I couldn't trust anyone. I thought that once he found out about me, that he would diss me. And in reality, the biggest regret of my life is that I regret how I treated this person out of my own insecurities. And it was the first and the only time that I ever truly went out of my way to be mean to someone out of my own insecurities. I felt that I wasn't mature enough to date this person because I'd learned that a long time ago about my disabilities. I learned, well, I perceived that a person with a developmental disability like me and that didn't have really high grades in school was not worthy of dating someone like this person. Also, number four, if someone gets upset at me for a reason that I don't understand, it's hard for me to let go of it because of my rote memory. But they, on the other hand, will usually half the time never remember the incident, even though it feels like they will remember it at the minute. The black and white mindset in autism can overlap with and mimic anxiety disorders such as obsessive compulsive disorder and generalized anxiety disorder. Anxiety disorders are common comorbid disorders of autism, and I do have symptoms of OCD, which is obsessive compulsive disorder, panic disorder, and generalized anxiety. In conclusion, life experiences have helped me to deal with black and white thinking and anxiety related to it better than anything. If your child or loved one suffers from a black and white mindset, I suggest listening without judging, praying, being supportive, sharing information and experiences without being pushy. All right. Thank you. Bye.